Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Weez, and today we're going to be having a word about the Electoral college map. So, if we go over here, Arizona looks like it may go red. If we look at other polls for Arizona, Polymarket has Trump up plus 32. People really think he's going to win in the betting on Polymarket. So, Arizona's looking far more red than you may think. If we look, is it on this list here? They have it at a deadlock. This is the Peterson Foundation. So, and this one surprisingly has Arizona deadlocked at 47 to 47. Then if we continue on, I think this is Emerson polling with the Hill, and they have this at plus 3 for Arizona. If you look at all of these polls, including Polymarket, Arizona, I'm almost certain it's going to go red. So we'll make it completely red. Then we're going to look at, Pennsylvania is a big one, actually, because it's worth 19 electoral college votes. About a week ago, I remember seeing polls that had Trump up plus 4. This one's plus 1. This one is also plus 1. And this one is deadlocked. So again, it's similar to Arizona. What about Polymarket? Plus 14. So it really does seem, I feel like Polymarket is good for kind of getting a bearing. So when you look at this poll and it's deadlocked, this one, it's deadlocked, right? 47 to 47. Well, which way could it sway? That's what Polymarket I find is good for, because then you look at that and it's like, oh, most people think it's going to go Trump. So then you can kind of figure out, all right, and then you look at some other polls and it looks like plus 1 Trump. It looks like Pennsylvania is going to go for Trump. Based on these polls right now, the election happened tomorrow. That's what it looks like. If we look at Nevada, where's Nevada? They have Harris plus 1 in the Emerson poll. This poll, they have also Harris plus 1. So now I'm expecting Polymarket to also have Harris winning, right? Because it's more of that direction. In this one, it's deadlocked in this one. So these guys seem to be on the fence on everything. Everything's deadlocked except Michigan, which surprisingly they have Trump up in. Georgia's 1 up. So Nevada's deadlocked plus 1, and then the Polymarket has it at Harris plus 4. So now it's like, that's going to be a massive toss-up. It could legit go either way. So I'm just going to leave that like that. Then Georgia, I don't know, man. I don't know how Georgia ever went blue, but because it's in here with, Georgia's between Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, and South Carolina. You can't tell me that's a blue state. That's ridiculous. But let's look at the polling. So Georgia in Emerson poll is plus 1, and then we have, let's look at Polymarket last. That's what we'll do. Georgia with the Peterson Foundation, they've got that plus 1 for Trump. I feel like it should be more than plus 1. It's just surprising. And then if we look at this other Emerson poll at the Hill, they've got Georgia deadlocked at 50-50. So then you go over to Polymarket, And they got Georgia plus 28, which is everyone thinks Trump's going to win Georgia. I believe Georgia was also affected by the hurricane, right? So the Biden administration they haven't been pulling through for these people in these states here. And so, especially for Georgia, I mean, if you won Georgia before, wouldn't you put some work into there and make those people happy so that they vote for you? But they haven't really been. They've just been kind of leaving those people high and dry. Oh, I should say high and wet. But I'm gonna make Georgia red. I don't even think there's a chance for Democrats. And the same thing with North Carolina. North Carolina's got obliterated, and then where's the government? FEMA came along and just got in the way. Let's look for North Carolina. In this poll, they got Trump up +1. That must be the people who are not affected by the hurricane, right? They probably called those people, because all the people who got affected by the hurricane, they're not being called and polled. So these are the people not affected by the hurricane. So I guarantee you North Carolina is not +1. It's probably +4 by now, if you include everyone. And that's the other thing. Are they going to include everyone? Are there going to be polling stations available for North Carolina? I should say Western North Carolina, because that's where they got hit hard with the hurricane. And they're not getting much help, so it's taking much longer to kind of get things going again. So +1 there. I really got to move this Michigan poll out the way. There we go. With this, they've got North Carolina deadlocked. That's, again, like, these polls have been happening since the hurricane there. And the people who are going through the hurricane, who survived the hurricane, they're not getting help from the current administration. I don't see any Democrats in that area, or independents or non-voters, deciding to vote for Kamala. I don't see it. So I think it's going to Trump. I don't see how it goes to them, especially after what's happened. Unless there's some other kind of sinister plan involved that we will only learn about later. I think, let's take a look at Polymarket. North Carolina +24 Trump. People are feeling it. So I'm not wrong in thinking it's going to go for Trump. Now, as you can see, it's 270 to win. Trump's at 280 just with this here. But now Trump has a chance to win. So let's just look at this real quick. These are 3 swing states. So Nevada looks like it's going to be blue. We're just going to make it blue. Just make it blue. Just pretend Trump has no chance there. He's still winning, right? Then we have Michigan and Wisconsin. Let's look at Michigan, right? So let's go to this poll here. This is a general election, insider polling. I have no idea what's going to happen in Michigan, because a lot of nonsense goes on in that state, and so I don't know if +2 is enough for Trump to win Michigan. But they have him at +2. In this poll, Emerson with the Hill poll has him at, it's deadlocked, 50-50. They have him in this poll +2 also. And then if we look at, we'll look at this interactive poll also, I guess. But they have him in this one. They've got him deadlocked. And then Polymarket, Michigan +4 Trump. So that's also quite low. I would have thought Trump would have been a bit higher in Michigan, but maybe he's really not, because people saw what happened in 2020. 2020 Michigan was the state where, like, at 3 a.m. 150,000 ballots came in. at 3 a.m. after everyone had been sent home, and there was no like chain of custody or anything. They just showed up, and then apparently they were basically all for Democrat. Now, given mail-in votes were largely for Democrats, you're going to get some Trump votes in there, especially out of 150,000 votes. And then that's like the famous graph that everyone sees with the big step up. That's where that comes from. And I think people who are betting on the election, they're well aware of that. And so there's not too much hope for Trump winning Michigan in the betting. Even though he's up in the polls, plus either deadlocked or up, the betting market doesn't think so. Because it would be much higher. Like you look at some of these others, you know, plus 24, plus 28, plus 32. It's the same in Nevada. People aren't sure about Nevada, so it's only plus 4. But where people think Trump's actually going to win, most people do, like a much bigger majority. Usually we could give this, you know, make it like that. I'm just going to give it to Harris outright. Let her have it. There's so much corruption that goes on there. I believe Michigan is where, I could be wrong, so maybe I won't say. Well, it's either in Wisconsin or Michigan. People are actually going to prison for messing with the elections there. In the last 2 elections, in 2022 and in 2020. So to say there's no election nonsense going on is just a lie. All right, and then in Wisconsin, let's check out Wisconsin. It's pretty deadlocked. It's a lot like Michigan, so it's deadlocked. Let's see here. Wisconsin, deadlocked. It's deadlocked. Everything. Is it? Harris +1 in Wisconsin in the Peterson Foundation swing state poll, and then the Emerson, the Hill poll, Wisconsin Trump +1. So this is deadlocked across the board, right? So we have Harris +1, Trump +1, deadlocked, and even in Polymarket, they have it at 50-50. So I don't... Look, let's be honest. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada, Trump could win. He has more... He's within the margins to win those 3 states, which would put him at 311. 311 Electoral College votes. But even if he loses all 3 of those, he still wins. I don't see Harris pulling off Georgia and North Carolina and Pennsylvania. I just don't see it. And I think that this right here, I think this is actually the worst case scenario for Trump, which still has him over 270. So I think that's pretty interesting. Well, actually, what have I not clicked? Did I click something that maybe shouldn't be? No, I think this is, yeah, blue, red. So even if she wins Georgia, actually, now that I'm looking at this, she could take Georgia. She still loses. Yeah. She can have Georgia. Let her have Nevada. Let her have Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia. Let her have them. Take them all. Merry Christmas. They're all yours. You still lose. Just over 3 weeks to the election, so anything could happen. I just see her on a downward trend, though. So, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. And we will see everyone in the next video. Bye, everyone.